most of the race.
Murphy Ridley was Jody's dad, and he and George both agreed about one thing. They wanted their kids off the highway, but they weren't interested in cars, and so both fathers turned to racing. Both sons are now in the same car. Here's Dave Despain with Bobby Hillen's wife.
Bobby Hillen's wife went to driving school to learn to better appreciate what her husband does for a living. Did they teach you anything in school about the consequences of a crash like he just had here?
Well, no, they really didn't teach me a whole lot about the crashes, so I guess they concentrate more on how you should drive.
We saw him smiling, but I understand he's hurting. What did he say?
Yeah, he said that he blew a right front tire, and he's okay, but I don't think he's really ever been this hurt. His ribs are real sore, and his neck, he said, really stretched out real far, and his neck's real sore, and he's just real tight.
Are they going to keep him here? They're going to take him to the hospital for x-rays, or do you know?
No, he's going to stay here. He's about to take a shower right now, and then they're going to get the x-ray results back and put some ice on his neck.
Kim Hillen says that husband Bobby is sore but okay.
The 4-car draft is now a 3-car draft. Let's take a look at the race summary. 7 different leaders, 10 lead changes, very slow, 143-mile-an-hour average, nowhere near any record. And that's been created by 3 caution periods thus far in the race. The latest involving Bobby Hillen when he blew that tire, and Charlie Baker when he attempted to miss. He just lost it down at the bottom of the racetrack and backed into the wall. Ricky Rudd's bumper cam giving us these pictures.
That's Michael Waltrip in car number 30, the yellow car coming up on him.
That's Rusty Wallace in the white car down on the inside. New wheel bearing, 4 laps down. Wallace trying to get back in this thing. He was making a tremendous run before the mechanical problem. Hello again from Daytona Beach, Florida. We are now 77 laps into the Great American Race. 26 cars are still on the lead lap, and there you see the leaders. Phil Parsons, victorious for the first time in Winston Cup competition a year ago at Talladega, is out in front, and the Iron Man Dale Earnhardt in second as we get ready to resume. The green is about to be unfurled with Parsons first, Earnhardt second, Waltrip third, Jeff Bodine fourth, Marlin fifth, Schrader sixth, Wilson seventh, Mike Waltrip eighth, Kyle Petty ninth, Greg Sachs 10th, Ricky Rudd 11th, Bodine 12th as they shake him up, and Richard Petty is back in 19th as they go under green.
And Rusty Wallace is right up there. He's got one of his laps back. If he can get ahead of the leader now, and there's another caution flag, he'll have 2 laps back. He's 3 laps down at the moment.
26 cars on the lead lap, back straightaway. Parsons out in front. Young driver in his 7th 500, and there you see Richard Petty going up under Larry Pearson. He used to fight side by side with Larry's dad, David, and here's Alan Kowicki, who we haven't seen much of today, and I think will be a factor before this afternoon is over, gentlemen.
Could very well be. He says that Daytona and Talladega and these tracks are not his strong suit. He's very strong on the shorter racetracks, and won last year at Phoenix, Arizona on a 1-mile racetrack. But he's hanging right in there, still in the lead lap.
And sat on the pole 4 times last year. The young driver from up around Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Greenfield, Wisconsin, is home. Here's Parsons out in front, Earnhardt in second. And as you can see, the number 17 of Waltrip. And remember, this trio now in the lead have never won the 500. The 86 champion is back there in 4th spot. Kyle Petty in car number 23. Kicking his way up through the field, now running 9th, right behind Mike Waltrip. They're 2 buddies. In fact, Mike Waltrip lived at the Richard Petty home for a while when he first came into Winston Cup racing. Richard and Linda and that whole gang took him in. He spent about a year there. They said they ate him out of house and home. They're going to have to find a new sponsor if they kept that kid.
Leader Phil Parsons loves the carburetor play. You know, he's 3rd the Daytona 500 and the Firecracker 400 here last year, and he won at Talladega. So he's for carburetor plates forever for Phil Parsons.
Bodine to the inside. Looks like he wants to make a move. And here comes Schrader. Schrader on the inside moving as well. Here's Mike Joy.
Quick, unfortunate stop for Mike Alexander. He's driving for the team. Bobby Allison won this race for last year, but now it's Alexander's ride, and the number changes from Allison's 12 to Alexander's familiar 84. They still have to pry some right rear sheet metal away from the tire so he can get a clean run. He's going to lose a lap here.
He was one of those drivers that was involved in that crash when Jody Ridley hit the wall. There were a total of 6 of them. Of course, Jody Ridley, Rodney Combs, Mike Alexander, Dale Jarrett, Lake Speed, and Terry Labonte. However, Labonte has gotten his car repaired and is back out there, and so has Lake Speed, I believe.
They're making repairs on the installment plan for Mike Alexander, that number 84. He's been in the pits in and out several times.
7 cars in this lead pack. Here comes Earnhardt, busting for the lead. First time today. Waltrip coming with him. Dale Earnhardt sinks his teeth into first place with car number 3. Waltrip along for the ride. Bodine into third.
You have the 3 Hendrick cars running second, third, and fourth now as Kenny Schrader follows Jeff Bodine through, or at least tries to, down on the inside. And again, when you can do that, that's a lot of strength, a lot of horsepower under the hood of those Chevrolets when they can dive down to the inside and pull right around.
You hear so much hyperbole about how tough these guys are, but that guy in front is tough. Just 4 or 5 days ago, here in the Tri-Oval, end over end, destroyed a car and climbed out, and 1 hour later was back in this number 3. 190 mile an hour end over end flip by Earnhardt into the fence, tore the car up just into little pieces. And here he is right back running second here now. And as I say, an hour after that incident, as soon as they could have the track fixed, he was back out and running.
And look at the difference in Darrell Waltrip's car now and when we saw him backsliding through the field and not too long ago when he had a mismatched set of tires on the car. They corrected that during the pit stop. He's on a roll right now.
It's interesting. The one thing that Earnhardt really wanted was he wanted a CBS feed put into his Caravan in the infield. And the thing that most upset him was that Darrell Waltrip got one. And Darrell Waltrip said, he needs to come and talk to me. He says, I know how to bootleg those things.
You know, watching the action here today, I spent a good bit of last year on the Formula One circuit around the world, and it wasn't until about the 6th or 7th race that we had a pass for the lead. We've had 20 passes for the lead so far today.
Waltrip now first. 190.84 mile an hour average in his last lap. Earnhardt second. Bodine third. This looks like a replay from the race 3 or 4 years ago. Here's Phil Parsons into fourth. Excellent job by Parsons.
And Rick Wilson has moved up into fifth. Now, a moment ago, we saw Kenny Schrader coming with Jeff Bodine as they were making their way to the front. But once he got up there beside of Phil Parsons, he couldn't make the pass. And now Kenny Schrader has dropped back from, he's running in 7th position at the moment.
And this slower pace, this 190 clocking, is allowing some of those other cars to gather up the front of the field.
Well, we said at the top of the show that drafting would be a very important factor here today, and that's what we're seeing right now. A lot of cars running close together, and many of them not trying to make a move. They just want to keep up with the car that's in front of them. Here's Ken Schrader drafting on the car number 94 off Sterling Marlin, and his car may be a little bit loose at this moment because he did try to get up there at the front, and then all of a sudden he couldn't quite make the pass.
Marlin is 6th and Schrader is 7th.
Schrader's car doesn't have the edge that it had earlier today. One of those little adjustments, I guess, makes a difference, doesn't it?
Well, sometimes a set of tires that you put on, when we say, you know, drivers sometimes say, I got a bad set of tires. Usually it's a mismatched set of tires, and it doesn't take much. Just a 1/4 of an inch in circumference of the tires can make a great deal of difference in the way the car feels on the racetrack.
Notice that yellow car in the back. That was one of those cars that triggered that massive crash on Thursday. That's the Rick Wilson number 4. He's running 3 positions back from these 2 people. There's the bumper cam of Ricky Rudd's car.